A truck in the middle of the desert is carrying some Mexican foreign workers, each with their own lives, desires, and ambitions. A man named Moises holds his son's teddy bear in his hand, which suddenly starts making noise. He tries to turn it off but doesn't know how. The man next to him tells him to press the bear's belly, which will turn it off. He does this and successfully silences it. These workers are Mexican immigrants hoping to cross the border illegally into the United States in search of work and a better life. However, the truck they were riding in suddenly breaks down before they can reach the border. The driver asks the immigrants if anyone among them knows how to fix the truck. Moises raises his hand, saying he's a mechanic, and starts examining the possible problem with their transport. After a brief look, Moises identifies the issue but says he can't fix it and that the truck needs to be towed. As a result, all the immigrants now have to continue on foot. They reach a border marked simply by a barbed wire fence. Everyone crosses, and now inside the United States, one of the more experienced men warns everyone to hide immediately if they hear any sound or see any person. They proceed forward. Meanwhile, a man named Sam is in his pickup truck with his dog near where the immigrants have just crossed the border. He takes a sip of his drink and continues with his dog to hunt. Soon, Sam finds prey and fires a shot. The immigrants hear the gunshot and quickly run to hide in the bushes. It turns out Sam had shot a rabbit, which he picks up and takes with him. Meanwhile, the immigrants take the opportunity to rest a bit and drink water. After a while, they continue their journey towards their destination. Sam heads to another location to continue hunting when he is stopped by a policeman who asks what he's doing there and if he's lost. Ironically, Sam asks if he looks Mexican and says he's hunting rabbits. The policeman doesn't seem to like this and reminds him to stay away from the border. Sam mentions he called earlier to report finding tracks of illegal immigrants about 4 kilometers south and asks if they have checked it out. The policeman responds that he hadn't heard about it and then leaves. The immigrants continue running, hurrying to reach a safe place. One of them, a bit overweight and unable to keep running, stops along the way. Moises sees this and goes back to help him, and they continue forward together. The problem is that Moises and the others, unaccustomed to the harsh desert conditions, become tired and fall behind while the rest of the group with the guide is already far ahead. They shout for the others to wait, but the guide only ignores them and tells someone with him that this is what happens when you fall behind. They continue without concern for the others. When someone in the trailing group spots something, they quickly tell the others to crouch and hide. He points out a pickup truck, which turns out to be Sam's, still hunting and now in their area. Sam finds a scarf on the ground and has his dog sniff it to track the person. The dog then runs in the direction the immigrants are heading. Seeing this, Sam puts the dog in the car and climbs a small hill. From there, he aims and starts shooting at the immigrants, who run in different directions to save themselves. Sam manages to kill them one by one, while the trailing group can only watch helplessly. After the terrible act, Sam returns to his car. The remaining immigrants, terrified, try to leave unnoticed. After the dog is released, it appears to sniff out the remaining group. Sam, taking a drink in his car, is shown to be completely unstable. Suddenly, his dog starts barking again, and he goes to check it out. He soon sees the immigrants trying to escape in the distance. He gets back in his car and goes after them. The group runs desperately to save themselves, but Sam quickly reaches the foot of the mountain and sends his dog after them, starting a deadly chase. One immigrant, already exhausted, falls behind and is caught by the dog, which kills him by biting his jugular. Sam blows his dog whistle, commanding the dog to continue chasing the remaining immigrants. They run as fast as they can, reaching a rocky area and climbing a tree, leaving the dog behind temporarily. Moises almost gets caught, but the dog does not give up and circles around. Sam soon arrives and starts climbing a large rock. The group continues moving forward as quickly as possible until they encounter a high ledge, making the descent very difficult. One of them takes the lead and jumps to another rock, with the rest following. However, the man Moises helped earlier, who is very tired, struggles to make the jump. Suddenly, the dog reaches him, forcing him to jump, but he nearly falls. Moises catches him just in time. At this moment, Sam spots them through the lens of his rifle and manages to shoot the immigrant, who falls to his death. Moises escapes, and Sam calls his dog back. Reaching his car, he takes out a map to better locate himself and then orders his dog to continue pursuing the group from another direction while he drives around in his pickup truck. The group continues trying to escape, climbing down dangerous rocks and moving forward through a canyon. Moises notices something ahead and immediately signals the others to stop. They see Sam on the other side, barely missing being seen by him. Having no other choice, they decide to turn back, but this doesn't work as the dog is quickly approaching from behind. They do the only thing they can: climb the side rocks. The dog sees them and starts barking, drawing Sam's attention, who arrives shortly after. He begins climbing the rocks to reach the immigrants, who are just a bit ahead, struggling not to fall from the precarious ledges. Sam gets closer and spots one of them. He quickly grabs his rifle and takes aim. The immigrant, realizing this, panics and falls while Moises and the girl manage to hide behind a rock. Since Sam only sees one person, he assumes there was only one. He descends to check if the immigrant is still alive. The man has survived the fall and is conscious when the dog arrives and starts biting him. Sam arrives shortly after and commands the dog to stop. The desperate man begs for help, but Sam mercilessly finishes him off. Suspecting that Moises and the girl might be nearby, Sam is distracted when Moises' teddy bear starts making noise, drawing Sam and his dog's attention. Moises desperately tries to silence the bear, but it's too late. Fortunately for them, Sam decides to leave and come back for them later as it's getting dark. Later in the evening, Moises and the woman named Adela, still shocked by what they've experienced, try to rest. Adela explains that she is there because her parents wanted her to join her relatives in a safer place, as it was too dangerous where they lived. Moises tells her about his son, who is waiting for him in Oakland. He recounts that he was in the United States with all his residence papers in order, but after a dispute with a police officer over a broken car light, he was deported back to Mexico. Shortly before that, his son gave him the teddy bear for protection when he returned to Mexico. Moises says he promised to return it to his son personally one day. Meanwhile, Sam camps nearby, roasting the rabbit he caught earlier, and rests a bit. The day soon breaks, and Adela sees Sam's pickup truck in the distance. Trying to stay out of sight, she crouches and moves through the bushes but encounters several rattlesnakes and narrowly avoids being bitten. She quickly informs Moises about the pickup truck, and they plan to take it from Sam to escape. All they need to do is deal with the dog. At this moment, Sam is preparing to head out hunting again when his dog becomes alert and runs off as if it has caught a scent. Sam follows and commands the dog to return, but the dog is determined to find what it smells. After walking some distance from the car, Sam sees that it's only the teddy bear Moises had, surrounded by snakes. Then, the dog spots Moises and Adela running toward the truck and quickly gives chase. Realizing it was all a plan, Sam aims to shoot them but misses. As he prepares for a second shot, a snake crosses his foot, distracting him. Moises and Adela reach the truck, but it's locked. Using his mechanical skills, Moises attempts to unlock the door with the truck's antenna while the dog rapidly closes in. Sam is also running towards them, but Moises manages to unlock the door at the last second. He and Adela get inside, narrowly escaping the dog's furious attempts to break in and kill them. With his multi-tool knife, Moises hurriedly tries to start the truck, and once successful, he speeds away, leaving Sam and his dog behind. They rejoice at their escape, but their happiness is short-lived as an extraordinary shot from Sam's rifle hits Adela, causing Moises to lose control of the truck, which crashes into a tree and overturns. Despite this, Moises and Adela remain conscious and quickly exit the vehicle. Sam rushes to their location, but by the time he arrives, they have already fled. Seeing his destroyed truck, Sam becomes even more enraged and determined to hunt down the immigrants at any cost. He immediately sets off after them. Moises does his best to help Adela, but she is exhausted and injured from the gunshot and the crash. They stop to rest at a certain point, and Moises finds a medical kit in the truck and tries to treat Adela's wounds, her groans of pain echoing around them. Moises is extremely apprehensive, constantly looking around to see if anyone is approaching. He loads a flare gun, and after a moment of thought, he tells Adela he can't stay with her because she can no longer walk, and he needs to return to his son. He also mentions he doesn't really know her. Despite Adela's desperate pleas for him not to leave her to die, he apologizes profusely and runs away. At this moment, Sam and his dog are closing in, having found Adela's blood trail. Moises climbs a small hill in the distance, while Adela hides behind a large cactus. Sam can sense she is nearby and, as he prepares to send his dog to attack, Moises decides he cannot let that happen. He fires the flare into the sky, drawing Sam's attention, who shoots at him and misses, then decides to pursue him, leaving Adela behind. After running for some time, Moises realizes the dog is getting close, so he keeps running until he encounters a thicket of cacti. With no other choice, he decides to go through them. He zips up his jacket, adjusts his cap, and moves through the cacti to escape. The dog, undeterred, follows and quickly passes through the thicket. Moises is slightly ahead, struggling to get through and crouching to reach the other side. However, he's seeing that he wouldn't be able to get out of there in time, and this being a life or death situation, where he has to choose to live or let himself die by the dog, decides to wait to face him. And when the dog was almost on top of him to kill him, he shoots with a flare to defend himself, thus managing to stop the dog. A very difficult situation, but it was either that or he would die. Sam arrives, sees his dead dog, and laments before becoming enraged and shouting threats at Moises. In the distance, Moises sees a police car and calls for help, but he is not noticed. He then runs toward the police car, desperately trying to get the officer's attention, but fails. As Moises catches his breath, Sam takes aim at him but misses. Completely desperate, Moises shouts for help from anyone nearby while Sam approaches. Realizing he has no other option, Moises runs towards a hill and begins climbing it. Sam chases him and takes shots, but misses. They play a game of cat and mouse for a few moments until Moises tries to throw Sam off by climbing a rock formation. He manages to do so, but a small rock falls, alerting Sam to his location. Sam heads in his direction, prompting Moises to descend the other side. Knowing he would be seen and shot if he ran, Moises hides among the rocks while Sam descends and looks out from the hill's edge. Seeing an opportunity, Moises rushes and tackles Sam, sending them both tumbling down. Sam breaks his leg in the fall and reaches for his gun, but Moises, only slightly injured, grabs it first. In a vulnerable position, Sam begs Moises not to kill him. Moises, enraged, shouts that Sam killed everyone as if they were nothing and fires a shot next to Sam, missing him intentionally. After some thought, Moises decides not to kill him, leaving Sam to die in the desert. Moises then returns to Adela, who is still alive but very weak. He lifts her onto his back and carries her, hoping to find help. After walking a considerable distance, nearly at dusk, Moises finally sees signs of civilization in the distance, where they can hopefully find assistance.